What we're watching right now is footage from inside the prison where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. I'm going to show you where Jeffrey Epstein stayed, and I'm going to walk you through a bit of what we saw the night that he died, because I've analyzed those videos a lot, so I'm very familiar with the layout. Now, that right there is where the correctional officers sit. So this is the station for the officers on duty. And that right there is L tier. It's only feet away. It is right next to L tier. Now, if you saw the previous footage, if you've ever watched the videos that I've done covering the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death, it makes this area look way larger than it is. It's actually all fairly small. Everything's very close to each other. So when you read reports about inmates hearing what the guards were saying, you can see why, because none of it was very far apart. Now, right here, they're walking into where the officers would have been sitting. And this is going to give you a fascinating perspective on just how close they were to Jeffrey Epstein's cell. So when you see videos, when you see somebody walking up the stairs at one point, somebody would have had to have seen that. It is so close. Like I said, it's literally feet away. When you see it from a far distance, it looks like it's all pretty spread apart, but it isn't at all. And just to be clear, it says M tier. That's referring to the one below. L tier is the upstairs. Now, as you can see, they're zooming in on a door right there. The one with the window that you can see directly in front of you, that is where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. They were a stone's throw away from Jeffrey Epstein. So I really want you to think about this. The night that he died, there were shredded up linens that would have been loud. You would have heard tear. There's so many noises that you would have heard if you were sitting just feet away from where he was. And they claim to have heard none of this. So as I've talked about before, I think there's way more to this story than we've ever heard. But now we're actually going to get a view of inside of Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Now, right there at the end of the hallway, that's where the security camera is that was allegedly not working. But there would have been a very, very clear shot of this entire hallway had they had that recorded. Seeing it like this hopefully helps you really understand just how small everything is. I know I mentioned that a second ago, but it's really striking just how close together everything is. You know, Jeffrey Epstein would have died just feet away from the security guards. And what they said is right there, that would have been what the linen was hanging from. Just the middle of that bar right there. So here we are with another odd picture of Jeffrey Epstein. There's no shortage of weird pictures of him. Now, I think that part of him does this because he's trying to maybe awkwardly connect with younger people. Maybe he's doing something that he thinks is funny. Now, what's also possible is that somebody took a picture and compared it to him